What's up, curious youngsters? If we're always wasting time doing useless things or watching millions of videos, ending up with those weird YouTube recommendations, why not take a few minutes to learn on Mr. CurioCity? 30 totally epic facts that you'll forget in about 10 minutes. But these aren't just any facts, they're going to leave you completely amazed. For this and much more, these are 30 things you didn't know 5 minutes ago. 1. In Dubai, they do everything in the most luxurious and exaggerated way possible. And, for example, the Dubai World Cup is held, which is a horse racing competition. Its grand prize is a staggering $10 million. Run like the wind, shoot, white too. I'm not sure if you're truly interested in astronomy and space. Did you know Earth is the only planet in the solar system not named after a god? Since the rest refer to different gods from Roman and Greek mythology. 3. I'm sure that now, or when you were younger, at some point, you made a promise with a friend and maybe you sealed the promise with your pinky finger. But did you know that? Is this known worldwide? It's called the pinky promise, where originally the first to break the promise had to cut off their pinky finger. But that's horrible. 4. I'm sure you've had some bills get wet in your pants pocket before, and to your surprise, just by letting them dry, they looked like they just came out of the bank. Well, this is because most bills aren't made of paper. They're actually a mix of cotton and linen, so they're more like fabric. 5. If you thought your dream car was the most expensive object in the world, you're wrong. We should remember that the International Space Station is the largest and most expensive object ever built by humans, which began construction in 1998 and cost no less than $150 billion. 6. We all love sweet food. Chocolates, excuse me? The thing is, interestingly, while many people prefer white chocolate to darker chocolate is actually purer and healthier. And, for example, white chocolate actually doesn't contain any chocolate at all. It's made of milk, cocoa butter, and sugar. Pure junk, 7. One of the animals most at risk these days is the poor rhinoceros, which hunters kill for its horns. But that's not what's curious about it. What's curious is that the horns aren't made of bone, but are formed from keratin, the same substance that makes up our hair and nails. Let's see if you knew that, Johnny Ocho. Chickens are very curious animals, and although most of the eggs they lay are white or brown, we need to know. There are over 2,600 chicken species worldwide, and some lay blue or green eggs. 9. If you're afraid of forests or horror movies, this curiosity might traumatize you a bit. And that's because in Poland there's a strange forest called Crooked Forest, which is known for having all its trees with twisted trunks. Worst of all, no one knows why. Maybe there are spirits or strange things, but that's scary. 10. Even though diamond comes to everyone's mind, when we talk about precious stones, for example, this is tanzanite, which is a precious stone that can only be found in one place in the world, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Africa, and this is 1,000 times rarer than the once diamond. Who hasn't looked up and imagined shapes in the clouds? But I wasn't crazy when I saw a pony in the sky. This neurological phenomenon called Pareidolia is when people think they see faces, figures, or animals that aren't actually present. Well, a historical curiosity is that years ago in Soviet Russia, prisoners tattooed Lenin and Stalin on their bodies because the guards were strictly forbidden from shooting at the image of their national leaders. Thoughtful Timmy 13? I hope I don't scare you, but this is what the New Guinea bat looks like. I'm not sure if it's ugly or so ugly it's cute, but I won't criticize nature. This small animal, discovered in 2009, fortunately eats only fruit. Another interesting fact, it's also called the Yoda bat because it resembles the Star Wars master. Cinema is so vast and fascinating that it creates epic curiosities. For example, Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro are the only actors to win Oscars for the same role. Vito Corleone in The Godfather 1 and The Godfather 2. While we're now awaiting the PlayStation 5, Nintendo was the trend just a few years ago. Did you know the Nintendo Game Boy's inventor was just a janitor at the office? That's right. Apparently the president saw his invention and was captivated, deciding to take it global. Good job, Mr. Janitor DSSA. One of the most recognized brands in the automotive world is Toyota. Of the most recognized brands in the automotive world is Toyota. A brand that might seem to have a pretty simple logo, although it's not that simple. Did you know this logo shows a threaded needle's eye? This reminds us of the company's origins building looms. The 6 letters of Toyota DSSA are hidden in that logo. Nike is one of the top clothing brands, but its logo wasn't developed over years, as many assume. Actually, it was created by Caroline Davidson, a graphic design student from the United States who sold the logo for only $35. What a great deal, Caroline Dieciocho. I don't want you to get traumatized and run off to brush your teeth. You should know there are more bacteria in our mouths than people on Earth. Yes, many are native to our bodies and harmless, so don't worry. 19. Penguins are one of the most amazing birds on our planet, and even though they can't fly, did you know they have the super ability to drink salt water just like seabirds? They have a gland that lets them remove excess salt from seawater. Nicely done, Mr. Penguin 20. The Guinness World Records section is especially interesting. Did you know Rajodhevi, a woman from India, had a child at 70? Yes, that's right, becoming the oldest woman in history to give birth, 21. Nature is amazing and gives us species as rare as the glass caterpillar, which looks like anything but an insect. This caterpillar lives in South American jungles and despite its jewelry-like appearance is just an insect. 22 years after seeing Ice Age. We all like squirrels, and it's no wonder since these cute little animals have a very parental curiosity. And that's because they adopt baby squirrels if their parents have died or can't take care of them. So cute. 23, don't faint, it's just a mushroom. The Inalumpiqui, or bleeding tooth fungus, is an inedible mushroom found in moist forests in Europe and the United States. It doesn't attack us, thankfully, but Mother Nature is terrifying. 24. Nature never stops surprising us, and we find that it's not always animals that are the strange living beings. In this case, we have a tree called baobab. The tree is found only on the island of Madagascar. And what's interesting is that it can store more than 1,000 liters of water in its trunk. 25. A really crazy fact that we found. Mount Everest, the world's tallest peak, is composed of marine limestone, which means it's the highest point on Earth. At some point, it was under the sea. Yeah, kind of like the movie 2012 26. Specialists say you can easily survive on a diet of just butter and potatoes because they supply all essential nutrients and fulfill the body's needs. 27. Space and zero gravity fascinate us all, but if you get excited easily, space isn't for you. Because in the absence of gravity, you can't cry like you do on planet Earth. Your tears don't flow and just float in your eye. 28. The famous actor Robin Williams had a great gesture throughout his artistic career. And according to his acquaintances, for every movie he filmed, he would ask the production company to give jobs to about 10 homeless people on the set of the movie. That's great. 29. If you love travel or aviation, you may already know this. Today, commercial airplanes fly a bit slower than before. And this is because fuel prices have gone up a lot. Airlines optimize fuel use by flying at specific speeds. 30 ultra-modern inventions for the 21st century. We found that the technology company Sony launched a portable air conditioner that you can put inside your clothes, called Reimpokal. Good invention, Sony. Before I go, let me greet the subscribers. First of all, I want to send a really big greeting to Blackfire, who loves the videos. Next, another big greeting to Arias Campos, who wanted a little shout out. I'm also going to send a big greeting to Jesus David Villanova Diaz. Another big hello to Case Winter, who I missed greeting in earlier videos. I'll send a big greeting to Papi Chulo Loco, who hasn't been greeted before. Here's your super greeting. Next, another greeting for Anonymous, that is for Julio Cesar Chavez Camacho, and then another big greeting. For Siglo, who's been very active on the channel lately, which I love, finally I'll greet Millie SRZ. Another greeting for KGamer98, whom I didn't greet in the previous video. And the last greeting goes to Fake Gamer YouTube. Now I hope you liked it. Comment everything, absolutely everything that comes to your mind. Don't forget to share the video and show it to your friends. And do like my friend Johnny did, and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. I'm Mr. CurioCity.